It's Podpodular. Welcome back, folks. It is Thursday, June 11th. We are on episode 83. We are back with the fourth installment of the Fan Spotlight series. Here, and we spent some time overseas in Japan today. Got some great stories. I'm a long-time Sector 9 fan. And some awesome recordings to go over with him. And that's all we've got on the agenda. Again, quiet month here for STS9 before we load up for another 5-night run in Colorado. But let's bring in my co-host, Mr. Scotty Fuller. How we doing today?
No such thing as a quiet month, partner. No such thing. I'm doing great, man. I was just thinking as you were talking about that, these are my favorite kind of episodes that we've got coming up. No real agenda per se. We got a few open spots before we really get into a lot of review episodes. I can't believe this is only our fourth proper fan spotlight. That's kind of crazy. I guess the boots on the ground kind of took the place of the fan spotlight as we were
Right.
as we were reviewing shows. I guess every boots on the ground episode is technically a fan spotlight as well. But this one is really cool because, like I said, we don't have much of an agenda today, guys. We've got a new friend on. If you've been around the STS9 scene for a while, probably not new to you because this longtime fan and friend of the band goes all the way back to 1999 to his first show. And I was made aware of him a few weeks ago when another friend of the pod, Taylor, suggested that we have him on. I believe someone from the band, didn't Zach suggest this as well? He's our
Yep.
second band suggested guest. Missy was our first. We've got Taro Tsuzuki on today. Taro's, like I said, a longtime fan of STS9. Discovered them a little bit later into his life, and because of that, has got some really cool perspective for us today on an era that we love to talk about in STS9 Japan shows. So, welcome, Taro. Welcome to the pod.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Um, Nice meeting you, Scotty. And it was great meeting with Nate at
Mhm.
uh, Austin, in
Yep.
Austin shows. And thank you, you guys, for creating this wonderful hub of the STS9 fan base. And the fan base community is just incredible. And you are a great enhancer by having this incredible programs. And I've been watching it a lot.
Well,
And thank you for
wow.
having me today. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, hey, let's start out. Taro, you just recently retired, man. So happy retirement.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You were
Thank you.
you finished out your career at Apple, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was there for 20 years
Woo.
since
Wow.
2006. And uh, I, at that time, when I joined the firm, I was thinking about, on the first day, I was thinking about, it would be nice to retire from this company. And it really happened. So
There you
Man,
I'm,
that's
go.
I mean, and for those not so familiar, I mean that you pretty much got on the rocket ship right before it really took
yes,
off with the iPhone, and
yes.
you were iPhone era from start to finish. That's really cool.
Yeah. Um, 2006, my first project was Apple TV, and
Okay.
then
Wow.
iPhone came, and you all, we all know what happened after
Oh,
that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah. Also, hey, well, let's toss some thank yous back your way, Taro, because my real first introduction of you was with a gigantic box to my front door a couple of weeks ago. Nate texted me and said, "Hey, I've got someone that wants to send you a bunch more live show collections." Shout out Tyler Rogerson. I know if he's listening to this, he's like, "God damn, he's never gonna upload those fucking shows." Um, I'm working as fast as I can on them. This is not going to be a fast process. And yes, we have a bunch more now that you were so
Mhm.
gracious enough to mail us. What an honor it is to be trusted with that collection. So thank you so much for that. That was very kind and thoughtful, and we really appreciate that.
Yeah, I thought you guys are much more knowledgeable about this band's music, and I thought about maybe these guys are also are like an archivist of the
Sure.
band,
Mm, man, what an
and
honor to be called that.
yeah, and
Yeah, I
so
mean that's how we've thought of this podcast is giving some spoken history and some spoken context to that side of things because
mm,
this band's music is largely wordless and so there's not this lore and this these like stories passed down like there are with a lot of these other bands and yes, to your point, I mean we're not me nor Nate was never out there with a microphone and some headphones recording these things. But I mean, yeah, to be
mm,
considered in that same group of people for this band, I mean, that's a really cool. I've never really thought about it quite like that. That's really cool.
great, great.
Well, let's get into you, Taro. So let's tell us a little bit about where you grew up, right? Did you grow up in a musical household? What were you into as a kid, whether it be music or other things? So t tell us about how you grew up.
Oh, okay. So I was born in Kyoto, Japan. Kyoto had been capital of Japan for 1,000 years, and right now, unfortunately, because of the what the city has, uh, the city is suffering with a little bit of over tourism.
Oh,
But
Okay.
a lot of people know the name of my hometown,
uh,
though. And maybe there are some of the listeners uh, who have already visited
hmm
Kyoto, But anyway, I was born in 1958 and I am 67 years old.
Wow.
And I was born in a well-to-do family as a first son, hence my name, Taro. That means first son. And
oh,
hmm
my father was extremely strict father, also as a husband. And he was the major authoritative figure in the household. And
Okay.
he was also an avid record collector, and he listened to nothing but classical record. And
okay.
I don't know what he was thinking at the time, but he had already told me that the television is not good for me at
hmm
all. So we did not have a TV in the house. We were listening to classical records, which none of us, except father, was allowed to touch. So that I was just listening to classical music all the time. And at my grandma's house, they had a TV. So that's where once in a while I go there and catch the, you know, program for kids, like a Ultraman or Astro Boy or something, old
hmm
stuff. And I took a piano lessons, but the teacher of the piano was my father's elder sister, who was a Catholic nun.
Okay.
Never again. Never again. I would take up music lesson with none. Uh, she was a sweet aunt, but as a teacher, uh, she was. quite mini. and but when I was 7, I went to my parents took me to my first concert, which was a classical concert with a violinist named Isaac Stern. Do you know him?
I have
I
not
do
heard of
not.
Isaac Stern. No.
Uh, have you listened to or watched Fiddler on the Roof, the movie?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
The sound
Classic.
of violin that you're hearing is Isaac Stern uh,
Okay.
Gotcha. Very
recording.
cool.
And he performed two violin concertos, one Mendelssohn and the other one Beethoven. And the experience was so mesmerizing that I asked my father to buy the records that I can handle and listen to.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
he bought me a cheap copy and a very small stereo kit for me to listen to. And I actually memorized the entire two violin concertos.
Wow.
So even to this day, if I cannot just recite out of blue, but if that tune is playing, I can hum along, still.
Yeah.
That's how I grew up. But when I was 12, my father passed away, and all of a sudden, and he left the debt too. So all of a sudden, we are in the poorhouse, but we were also had this oppressive force was sort of lifted inside the house. So
yeah.
we were sad, but we were actually a little more relaxed. And uh, out of
God,
that,
Taro, I can relate to that, man. I don't talk about my
yeah,
childhood very much on here, but I have a very similar story. I lost my dad. I lost my dad at 15.
mm,
I don't know if I would describe my dad as an authoritarian so much as an abuser, but that same feeling, kind of weird, conflicting feeling when
correct,
you
yeah,
you know
yeah,
you're supposed to be sad right now, but you also feel and correct me if I'm using the wrong word, but for me, I would describe it as almost a relief. Um,
yes,
and that I don't know. That's
yeah.
I really relate to that. I didn't mean to
I
cut you
can
off. It's
definitely relate to that,
yeah.
you know. Yeah. But out of that, I was free to touch the radio and stereo
Mm,
and started to mess around with it.
wow.
And one day, I was in just few months into my middle school. One day I came home from school and turned on the radio, and basically what I heard was the Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin coming out of the radio. And
Mm.
I was like, what the hell is this? And I got so interested and curious about it. And I asked my mom to withdraw my savings from the bank account and bought Led Zeppelin 2 and 3 the next day.
Mm.
And
Hell yeah.
that's when I started to really collect music things and sticking my nose into the music thing. And and because my father passed away, and a lot of some relatives thought we would be to cheer us up, they gave us a TV. So for the first time in my life, I had TV in the house. But Japanese music, pop music, and was shit. I just hated it. And so this idea of Japanese music sucks, but Western music is what I liked. Kind of got
Hmm.
stuck in my head, and
Okay, that's literally the next question I was gonna ask.
yeah,
Just to so you don't feel like you're driving completely. Like draw some of those comparisons. So you're at this point. So you said 58. So you're like 70, 72, 73 time at
71
where
and 2, yeah,
during this time that we're talking about. Okay,
yeah,
so
early 70s.
how so I mean this is like fucking explosion of every like foundational American or just foundational music in general, whether you're talking the Beatles or Zeppelin or the Dead, like it's all happening at this time. How accessible is that in Japan during this time?
around that time, it was American cultures of all sorts, food, fast food,
Okay, so this is when
uh,
it's all really exploding in
right,
Japan all at once.
fashion, music, lifestyles are just flooded in Japan.
Mm.
Wow.
And
I feel like the
Japan was,
opposite. I feel like the opposite is happening right now. It's almost like,
yeah, and
yeah, changing
Japan was
around.
on the rise with the economical trip, since the World War II ended.
Sure.
And they were just, recovering and growing so fast while at the same time taking in mostly American culture into the society. And so the music was, uh, you know, available, and people were discovering uh, all the new things from outside Japan. And that radio had top pop, uh, top pop ranking, kind of program.
Yeah, top
And
40 stuff. Yeah.
I was listening to that every week and taking the memo. And the number one this week is this song by that. Number two was this, and I was taking the note every week.
Wow.
And I remember listening to Carpenters, and I also remember all of a sudden this new song by John Lennon came in to a number three, and that was Imagine, the song
Mm.
Imagine. And my father's side cousins had when I visit them, they had records of Miles Davis, Sonny Rollins, David Brubeck, and the soundtrack of West Side Story, that kind of thing. The American music was there, and so after my mother had to work now, and she found a job in Tokyo, so we moved to Tokyo. And the job she had was a dormitory mother of YWCA with 40 or so girls living in it. Uh, and those girls are from 18 to 20.
Oh, YWC, like the women's version of
YWCA, yeah.
YMCA. Okay, cool.
YWCA's vocational schools dormitory, and
Okay.
and my mother was cooking for 40 people and cleaning the building and that sort of thing she was doing. And it is weird for a 12, 13-year-old to be surrounded by 40 or 45 girls of 18 to 20. That might have done something to me. I don't know.
Man, yeah, I
Yeah,
can't
so
imagine.
I was gonna ask that question.
and so
Uh,
my mother was busy with work, and she had to raise my younger brother and sister. So I was in the middle school, but I was pretty much left alone, as long as I don't cause trouble. And I went to my first non-classic music concert, which was the Carpenters,
okay.
1972. It was the Carpenters. And I also went to see a Tyrannosaurus Rex, T-Rex. Do you know them?
Mm-mm.
No.
And I was buying records little by little, and I was really into prog rock because I saw in prog rock the marriage of classical music presented as more like rock music.
Sure. Yeah.
So when my mother came into my room and saw the first album of King Crimson, the
Yeah.
album cover of first album of King Crimson, right? She was horrified, and and she asked me, "What is this?" And I thought about it, and oh, this is a new form of classical music.
Hmm.
That's
I
what I
mean,
told her.
that's
And
so interesting because, like, what is it? Is it Baroque, the classical, where it's like really notey, like a lot of notes in a small amount of
yeah,
time, like Baroque music? Like Humphreys, for example, is basically just like jam band Baroque music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never had this thought until you just drew that
yeah,
parallel for me. But that is so fucking
Yeah,
interesting.
it's like minor scales and everything like that. It's
Yeah, it's
pretty
like I
much
mean,
it.
and now I'm like thinking about other bands that aren't necessarily jam bands that also very comfortably fit in that. Like a Vampire Weekend is very good at that. Like there's a few
King
bands.
Gizzard,
Yeah, King Giz for sure. Like that's a
Fish.
fit. Yeah, that's a great
mm.
comp. I'm going to be thinking about that for the rest of the night. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
Um,
my oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Taro.
And I the father side cousin also was really hip, and the first 6 years older cousin was a jazz is still is a jazz pianist,
Sick.
and a cousin of my same age is fairly formidable figure in harmonica uh,
Okay.
playing, and they are a very musical family, and they knew a lot. That cousin took me to the jazz coffee shop for the first time,
Hmm.
and my
Cool.
whole new world opened up, uh, and in the meantime, I was still on the rock prog rock thing, and I went to actually see Emerson, Lake and Palmer,
Wow.
uh, and opener was a band called Free, whose lead vocal Paul Rogers would form a bad company later on. Uh,
Oh.
and I went into high school and I had my first girlfriend, and she was nuts about Queen. So we
Okay.
went to see Queen together. Uh, but after we broke up, I went to jazz. I went to jazz coffee shop a lot. I read the book there, took a nap there, and and then I ended up going to see Miles Davis and Herbie Hancock
Wow.
while I was in high
Tara,
school.
the names that you're dropping in succession here are just too much to fucking glaze over, dude. You just gave us one sentence on Queen before going to Miles Davis, and wow, dude. I mean, you're so Queen wasn't your cup of tea. I mean, why
Oh,
the jump
Queen
to jazz
was.
after that?
I remember I liked the first two albums of Queen. It's again, it's kind of sounded like a little classical uh, here and there, and the vocal was beautiful.
Hmm.
I did like it, you know. I did like it. Um, so I was a bookworm and listening to jazz, and then I was in Japan, and so this is my high school days, and I was kind of forced to start thinking about my future. And around that time, and the Japan at the time was you either work for uh, one company all your life with suit and tie,
Yep.
right? Or you take over your dad's business at home. You know,
Hmm.
right now there will be many more variations and opportunities, diversity in opportunities. But at the time, it was like that. Then my aunt came from United States to visit, and I told her I didn't know what to do with my life, and she kind of casually said, "Why don't you think about coming to America? We can sponsor you."
Hmm.
So I was a little bit different from other kids, and I hated the suit and tie uh, and one company all my life idea. It was really too confining for me, and I kind of jumped on opportunity, and I ended up in Sevierville, Tennessee, where my
Wow.
aunt and uncle lived. Now, Sevierville, Tennessee is a hometown of Dolly Parton.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
and they have Dollywood,
Hmm.
Oh, that's where
the
Dollywood
amusement park.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But Dollywood wasn't there when you were there. Like when you got there, was it?
it was there already.
Oh
Oh
wow, I didn't
wow.
realize that
Yeah,
Dollywood went that far back. So what
yeah.
year is this that you're getting to America?
1978.
God damn, dude, your trajectory with the music is Oh,
and
perfect.
and then I think 1979, the following year, my sister came from Japan as well, and she had a summer job at the concession stand at the Dollywood for
Hmm.
one summer. And I remember my sister had a big hair just like a Dolly back then. Um, and uh, uh, I entered the college called East Tennessee State University in Johnson City, Tennessee.
Hmm.
And I was a history major initially. I wasn't good at science, but my first roommate, Jimmy from Fall Branch, Tennessee, told me that history major, history PhD people will be driving cab in New York City. And I wasn't having it. No, that's not how I came to America, So I asked him, what are you studying? And he proudly said, computer science.
Hmm.
Computer is the shit, man. It's the
Yeah.
future. Okay, I
Back
go with
then.
that. I
Yeah.
gotta survive in this country. I
That is
gotta
the best. That
somehow.
is the best advice you were ever given. That and your
Yeah.
your your aunt saying telling you to come to America.
Yeah,
That's amazing timing.
but musically, there are no jazz anywhere in Johnson City.
Yeah.
Kids there were listening to Boston and Styx and Kansas and a lot of disco. And of course, you can't talk about music in South without Leonard Skinner.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Uh, and that's what they were listening. But the first concert I went to in Johnson City, Tennessee, was Eric Clapton with Muddy Waters opening.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, I okay, this is America, all right, you know.
Yeah,
Hmm.
fuck
Um,
yeah, dude.
and because I couldn't find much of a jazz, I went along with the just rock and roll, and I went into metal. I also find some metal has a common thing with the classical music, very
Sure.
structured and that kind of thing. Um, and I saw Ozzy, Van Halen, The Police, Fix, Dave Brubeck while I was in Johnson City, uh, and the summer of 1982 or three, the guy from Honda in Marysville, Ohio, called me out of blue and asked me if I want to work for them as a summer job, as a translator and interpreter. And
Hmm.
I went there for summer and I stayed with the guy who will be my future stepfather. He's a Japanese man.
Ah,
And in the Columbus, Ohio, that was a big city for me compared to Johnson City. And there people are listening to completely different music. Uh, U2 was coming along and
Mm.
reggae was hot. There was a new wave, there was a punk. There's no punk in Johnson City, Tennessee, you know.
Hmm.
Uh, and goth, industrial, they were listening to all kinds of different music. And I bought a lot of records. I shouldn't spend that much money, but I did. And after I came back to Johnson City that summer, I got a job at record store in Johnson City, uh, in a place called Record Bar. It was a chain store based on South. Are they still around?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. I think they were based in Atlanta, and
Okay.
they had a several store around the South. And I had a long hair, and I was standing in a record shop, and a lot of people asked me if I were
Okay.
Cherokee Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Son, are
I can see how they
you a
got there.
Cherokee? You know, uh, and
In the 80s.
there were some interesting people there. Even though that was a Bible Belt, I saw a guy with an upside down cross tattooed on the forehead,
Oof.
always hunting for metal metal records. Uh, and and working at the record store, I spent all my money on the records, not food. So I ended up not eating anything for 3 days at one point and just lost myself. So a friend of mine came to rescue, and he was a photo guy with a photographic memory, very sharp, a med school student uh, named Chip. He helped me out with money sometimes. And when he came to the college, he was only 16 or something. He skipped like 2 years in high school, jumped in. He was that smart. But I corrupted his life, unfortunately, with introducing him Jimi Hendrix. And we ended up going to see Stevie Ray Vaughan together. And what happened was we were riding the rail. Stevie Ray Vaughan was right here. And when he played the Jimi Hendrix Little Wing, he actually sat down on the edge of a stage right in front of us. And Chip was like, oh my God. And so we came back from the show, and I woke up the next day with a knock on the door with a Chip standing with a Stratocaster case in his hand. I said, oh no, Chip, what did you do? You are supposed to be a doctor. You are going to become a doctor, man, you know? And I was like, God, I really corrupted his life. But actually, he still plays music in Johnson City, Tennessee, by the name of Lightning Charlie.
Lightning
if
Charlie.
you
Shout out
are
Lightning Charlie.
if you are around the area, the Tri-City area of Eastern Tennessee, please go check it out. He is really, really incredible. On the traditional American music sense. And so I highly recommend that. And so my mom got married with that guy in Honda, and I graduated. So I moved to Ohio, Columbus, Ohio. And I started to hang out with the bar in the Short North area of downtown Columbus called Short North. The bar name was Short North. There was another club called Crazy Mamas in right nearby the Ohio State University campus. And that's where I learned Clash, License to Ill by,
Beastie Boys.
Beastie was just coming out. I learned Skinny Puppy and industrial music, goth, synth pop. And while I lived in Columbus, I saw Miles Davis a couple of times, Pat Metheny Groove, Alan Horsworth, Jaco Pastorius,
sick.
Jean-Luc Ponty, Bob Dylan, Rita Marley and the Wailers. Those bands I saw while I was living in Columbus. And at the bar, the Short North Tavern, I ran into one of my coworkers, the same company I was working at, and his name is Jim, and his wife Leslie, and they asked me, hey, Taro, have you seen the band called Grateful Dead?
Okay.
And yes, I had tried the records, but nothing, rang my bell at the time. Okay. If they come next summer, we'll go together.
Mm-hmm.
So I started to learn about Grateful Dead. And at the record store in Dublin, Ohio, it so happens that the record shop was run by Deadhead.
Okay.
And I was browsing the Grateful Dead records, and I asked them, which one is the best one? I said, none of those.
Pulled out some tapes, didn't he?
He said, instead of buying those records, you see those blank cassettes there? Buy those from us. And next day, or come back later, and I will give you the tapes of the live shows. So I did that, and I really liked it this time the live, actual live shows by Grateful Dead. And I had about 100 tapes already before my first show.
Wow.
And I knew how the show went. And my favorite song was Terrapin Station. So in 1988, Jim and I and a few other friends went to my first Grateful Dead concert at Buckeye Music Center in Ohio. And on the second set, they played Terrapin Station, and all lights went out, but white beams all went on Jerry when he sang Inspiration, and all my body's hair stood up right there, and I was all in instantly. This is it. This has got to be it. So I wanted to get to know them more. So I bought the tickets for New Year's run that year in Oakland, California. And I saw 3 more shows. And they had an off day, the December 30th. Hot Tuna was playing at the Fillmore. I mean, where can this go wrong? And I was in heaven. And I visited, the Telegraph Road in Berkeley and Haight-Ashbury, and I was just doing it all as a tourist. But then after that run, I came back to Columbus and then started looking for a job in the West Coast. I gotta get close to that. The final destination, San Francisco, right? So I started look for a job and then found one in Bothell, Washington, which is just the suburb of Seattle. I got a job at Motorola there. And as soon as I landed there, I started looking for a job much closer to San Francisco.
Chipping away.
Yeah. That's around when the Grateful Dead brought back Dark Star and Attic Saw My Life and that sort of thing. And I met one of the tape traders named John, who turned out to be an acid trip teacher. And we went to Forest together, and he led me through my first acid trip in the mountain of Seattle, on the suburb of Seattle. And we went to see Grateful Dead at Autzen Stadium, that sort of thing.
Yeah, my sister went to Oregon, so I've been to Autzen a few times for football games. I can't imagine seeing a Dead
Another
concert
tape
there.
trader was named Rob. He was already into Fish in 1989, 1990.
Early, yeah.
Yeah, he had a friend in back east, and he was already so into that. And then I got a job in 1991 at Adobe in Mountain View, California. And one day while I was still in Seattle, we were on the internet message board called Usenet. And Grateful Dead fans had its own board on there. And one guy from Adobe asked me, "Hey, are you Japanese? It's kind of rare to see a Japanese deadhead living in America. I'd like to meet you." And what he was getting at was Adobe was going for a Japanese market at the time, and they needed more engineer with the Japanese language skills. So he kind of looked at me for that. So I ended up getting a job there, and I met my to-be wife, woman, and we started dating, going to Grateful Dead shows, Eel River, Eel, with the Jerry Garcia band, and we had all the great times together. And in 1999, at the High Sierra Music Festival, I saw Sector 9 for the first time.
Here we go.
Actually, I did not actually see their set in the festival. I missed it but somebody who was connected well with the organizer told me, they said, hey, that band, Sector 9, is playing uh, at the poolside party at the rental office.
Mhm.
So I run to the rental office, and I couldn't get in. So I was looking at the band played by the pool from outside the fence, you know, and they were playing. I didn't know what they were playing. They were playing some breakbeat type of thing. I don't remember the tune they were playing, but I knew I liked it immediately.
I mean, that early, there's a good chance that it wasn't a tune at all. It's just
Yeah,
fucking around.
yeah. And the following year, also at the High Sierra. So in 1999, I bought a CD, Interplanetary Escape Vehicle,
Mhm.
and
Okay.
I
But hey,
listened, and
hey Taro,
wow.
is this before or after? Like, okay, I guess my question about High Sierra was going into it, were you aware of them and were they kind of one that you were hoping to catch?
No, so after Jerry died in 1995,
Yeah, let's
I'm
talk about
sorry
after
to,
Jerry died. I
yeah,
want to hear
I'm
about
sorry,
that
I'm
from your
sorry to go
perspective.
back and forth, but
No. This is something I want to hear about for
yeah,
sure.
the after Jerry died, I didn't want to listen to any band music at all.
Mm,
I kind
get
of,
that.
yeah, Grateful Dead was Jerry for me. For me, it was Jerry,
Mhm.
you know. So I didn't want to listen to any band music. I wasn't listening to music at all for a while. And then I took a solo trip to Amsterdam. There, I discovered house music, ambient, trance, all the
Oh.
electronic music, and I fucking loved it. I mean,
Mhm.
all this narrow street had a small record store, and each of those record store had a DJ booth, and the young man was DJing, and a few teenage girls were with a heart mark in their eyes were just looking at the DJ. That kind of scene was happening in the broad daylight around 2 in the afternoon all over the town. And this is great. So I bought some CDs without knowing much of anything. And I really started to dig into EDM.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so when I saw the bill of 1999 High Sierra Music Festival, I saw the name Sector 9. What kind of name is this? It's definitely not a jam band, you know, name. No. It
Mhm.
sounds like more like a EDM artist name,
Yeah.
And uh, so that's why I got interested in it just by name. Coolest name, Sector 9, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Wow. So uh, I saw that about 15 minutes of a poolside party. Let me tell you who else there were. There were in that high Sierra in 1999. Widespread Panic with Mikey,
Fuck yeah.
Wow.
Better
Mhm.
Flick and Flickstones, String
Mhm.
Cheese Incident, Leftover Sound,
Mhm.
Dr. Dish, Daryl Anger and Mike Marshall, The Slip, Living Daylights, Keller
The
Williams,
slip.
Paul Denson, and Sector 9. And so I think Sector 9's stage, I mean, gig at the smaller stage was uh, overlapping with some bigger artists, I think. That's why I missed their set.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to wait for one full year until the next year's High Sierra Music Festival to see the whole show
Mhm. And
of
this
Sector
this
9.
is at this point you'd gotten the record, you listened to Interplanetary
Yes.
State Vehicle, and really
And
really gotten a good idea of what they were about. Yeah.
yeah, and I
Mhm.
tried to get some live recordings as well, but not many folks are recording uh, around me, uh,
Mhm.
especially the Sector 9, because basically they were unknown band at the time. And so what this in 2000 year 2000, I after Sector 9 set, I walked up to one of the band members and started talking to them and said, I love your music, I hope to see more of your gigs. And surprisingly, the guy asked me if I were Japanese. And that was David Phipps.
Well, of
Mhm.
course.
And he told me that he really wanted to take this band to Japan and show his parents who were living in Nagoya, Japan at the time, uh, to show his parents what he's trying to do.
Wow. I did not know this
He-
context about Phipps's relationship with Japan. I did not know that
yeah,
about his parents.
Mhm.
his father was a minister of church, and his mother was the head of a kindergarten that belongs to that church in Nagoya.
Oh.
And David Phipps grew up in middle school and high school, I believe, in Nagoya.
I did not know
And
any of this. Taro,
so,
you talk about an archivist, man. Thank you. This is so good.
yeah. And then he said, so I told him, well, in order for a Japanese promoter to call you up, you guys need to be better known in America first.
Mhm.
And in the meantime, I get these live recordings and start spreading that on the grassroots way to some fans that I know in Japan. So that's where it started. And after that, from 2000 to 2004, I went pretty much all the Northern California shows,
Mhm.
festivals, Fillmore, and their projects. Santa Cruz Hemp All Stars, Sucker Punch, Landscape and Breath, Zolkin, all those things.
I'm
In
sorry. I'm sorry. Sucker Punch?
Yeah, there was a short-lived or only one time project called the Sucker Punch that Zach was involved.
Mhm.
Oh, wait. Was this the Audio Angel thing? Is this the same one that
Oh
Audio
yeah,
Angel was
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. Okay. She talked about this too. The one night only thing. Yeah. Okay.
It's kind of a
Yeah.
jungle project, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, band. I so few weeks after I met David Fitz, there was a show in San Francisco called at the place called Space 550 uh, in San Francisco, and that was Day Out of Time.
Mhm.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, Day Out of Time. The day that was not in Mayan calendar, and
Mhm.
they performed that day at that club or space. That's when I met all the rest of the band. David Phipps introduced me to all the other guys. And at that time, I think Zach and Hunter were still underage,
Oh, wow.
19 or 20 or something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Wow.
And I was already in early 40s, but I those guys had a completely different vibes to me. They were different, you know. So I'm trying to get some inputs from from those guys instead of just acting like men who are older than they are.
Right.
And there started uh this incredible friendship that I'm so blessed with. They also told me about Boards of Canada,
Mm.
uh Square Pusher, drum and bass in general. I did not know drum and bass until then. Telephone Tel Aviv, Karsh Calais, those guys, they gave me a pointer to listen to. And then I went to this I think it was a spring tour in 2001 in Colorado.
Mhm.
And first
Yeah, I know
show
you told me you had some good stories from this tour.
yeah,
Yeah.
the first show was at the Colorado Music Hall in Colorado Springs. Uh, that was a geometric dome kind of thing. I think it was a uh, like a planetarium used to be.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that night was a horrible blizzard. And from airport to the venue, uh, and the hotel I was staying was right next to the venue, conveniently. And I had a hard time getting there. And I was like, is show happening? You know? So I get there, door is open, nobody is taking the ticket, nobody's doing the code check, nobody is at the concession stand, just nobody. And I didn't have anybody to show my ticket to. And the whole, the warnings and alerts and all those weather things were everywhere. And there were only 14 or 15 people on the floor.
Wow. It's like a private
And
show.
it so happens that 7 or 8 of them were Jeffrey's relatives. So after 2 songs or 3 songs, they went home because they were worried about snow outside. So there are only
Yeah.
6 of us left in a completely empty floor, and they did the whole one set show.
Okay.
And there were two girls, Erin and Laurel. Uh, Erin would become merch staff later on,
Okay.
and the 3 guys from Chicago and me, just 6 of them. And
Wow.
you can go backstage all you want. There's nobody around, And I went to backstage, and they were, "Are you going to do the show?" "Yeah, but we are not going to do two full sets. We're going to do just one set show tonight because of the situation here." So okay. And then I was sitting around in the backstage, and Murphy was the set list person at the time, and he was going around the band members asking, "So what are we really going to call this tune? Are we
Mm.
really calling this tune the Ramon and Emigria? Are we really doing that?" And Hunter and the other guys, "Yeah, Ramon and Emigria, man." So I think I witnessed the naming of
The
the
naming
tune
of Ramon.
Mm.
right
That's
in front of me.
crazy.
And so show was very memorable because of that and the snow cold, situation. Like only 6 of us at the end of the show on the floor. But I gave them I gave them the praise for actually did that show.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a set list,
Yeah.
and the recordings too, I think. Uh, and 2 nights later, it was a Bluebird Theater in Denver,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
and I was hanging out around the sound check, and the STS9 staff did. Eric and Gene and Saxton, Chris, everybody was around, and sound check is done, and everybody, band members, crew members, every staff, everybody said, "We gotta go," and they're about to take off somewhere, and where are guys going, dude? Erika Badu is in town. We are going to see at least a few songs by her, man.
Yeah.
Do you want to come? I'm like, who the fuck is Erika Badu? I had no idea.
Oh my gosh, that is
And they
crazy.
just all took off. And we'll be back by the show. Don't worry, Taro. But they were at the Erika Badu show that night, or partially, I think. And then they came back, start playing.
Did you go?
No, I didn't go. I didn't know.
Oh,
I didn't even know who Erika Badu was. And then after I came back from the trip, let's check out Erika Badu. And I picked up a CD, Mama's Gun.
Yo, it's one of my
And
top
then
five favorite albums of all time.
and both my wife and I just absolutely loved it. It was a high rotation for a few weeks after I bought that CD. And, so yeah, the boys were giving me all kinds of music directions to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and we had a house party at my house, roll your own sushi party with where everybody came. And we had this personal, thing, and that was really, really nice. And then in 2002, first Japan tour happened.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in heaven,
And
and I was in heaven.
on the first Japan tour, Taro, because you strike me as a very humble guy, so I don't think you're gonna say this, but I'm gonna say it for you. Essentially what you just said is you are the reason that STS9's music hit Japan because
Ah,
you're sending these tapes over there. So
yeah.
like it or not, I mean, maybe the Phipps family is getting a little bit of word of mouth over there too, but I mean, you are the spearhead of this effort to eventually get STS9 over there. It sounds like, and
Mm,
what I
mm.
guess so. We're, you said they had to get bigger in order to get invited. What do you remember about them getting invited for the first time? Did they let you know? I mean, how are you involved in that?
Oh, yeah. I think the band. It was a band that we got a call from
Hmm.
Japan.
God, how cool must that have been for you?
Yeah. And you know, that's what it. But I didn't really directly do anything to bring them to Japan. All I did was spread some CDs and good words on a you know I think it was a jam band board for Japanese people fans or something.
But in the days of early internet and like I don't know, I don't think that we can stress enough to the people that might not have been around or alive during that time
Mm,
how powerful that must have been. Like you don't just
mm,
stumble on this kind of music at this time. And so,
right.
I'm sure there's no way to properly quantify it, but I mean I think that deserves to be at least acknowledged that whatever effort you made towards that probably went a lot further than you think. I don't know.
I don't.
I think that's cool. If you have a hard time
Yeah.
taking that compliment, I totally understand that. But to me,
Yeah.
that seems like a very clear through line here that is a part that you played in it.
Well, the around after actually it was after Jerry passed. There was an explosion in jam band scene.
In
There,
Japan.
no, in America.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Big shoes to
and
fill. People, big
right, and the
financial
Japanese
opportunity. Yeah.
and Japanese promoters were looking to pick some of those guys to bring to Japan,
Hmm.
Hmm.
because there are demands, or in other words, there are fans of Grateful Dead. Big, big community of Fish fans there. I
Yep.
think Fish went there for the first time in year 2000,
Yes.
and I didn't go to that, but you know, they had a really big impact in Japan,
Hmm.
and there were need or audience would who would go to see jam bands
Hmm.
uh, if they went to Japan. And economically, yen dollar rate was very advantageous for Japanese at the time. So
Okay.
it was easy for them financially to invite bands as well.
Sure.
Maybe what I did was maybe I flashed the name Sector 9 several times in front of them. to
Yeah.
make them aware. But I think that's the extent of what I did. I didn't really directly do anything. That's what I think.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Either way, it's a part of the lore for sure.
yeah.
What about STS9's music? Do you think it resonates so well with Japanese fans?
Japan is an interesting market in terms of music.
Hmm.
They get music from Europe as well. So that means the electronic music elements are well laid out in Japan.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was the late 90s. One of the best-selling CD was LTJ Booken
Okay. Makes
In
sense.
In
Yeah.
Japan?
in
Yeah.
Japan.
Hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and just go to some nice loungy place, bar or cafe, if you will. Uh, yeah, drum and bass might be playing, or
Yeah.
some other ambient music might be playing, and then this improv aspect of that. And
Okay.
so I think they are fairly, especially younger generation, they were already equipped to receive anything that this band could offer,
Right.
and they
They were
loved it.
familiar with what they were doing. Yeah, it seems
Yeah,
like. Yeah. Mhm.
and besides, uh, apparently, girls went crazy over Sector Nine.
I mean, a young Zach Velmer. Come
Yeah,
on.
I live here, so I don't have many friends there. But at the shows, like this Anoyo Festival in Shiobara, uh, I was riding the rail, and I was the only guy in front at the rail. I was surrounded by young girls, you know, and they all had a heart mark in their eyes. And I asked them, "So, do you know them?" Not so much, but they are all so cute, and they were known to be the best-looking jam band ever.
I
And
think they
young
can.
girls,
I
I
think they
mean,
can wear that to this day. Honestly.
Yeah.
yeah, and every girl had a target guy. I love I love David's intelligent look. The Zach is so cute. I love the expression of uh,
Mhm.
Jeffrey like a hawk.
Yeah.
Uh, and Murphy was tall and cool.
Yeah.
And
Hunter's mystical.
Hunter is just a
Yeah.
statue.
Mysterious.
They
Yeah.
were all going for it. So that was kind of, I never thought of the band that way, but I guess they are all handsome boys.
I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's fair to say that they ever had a quote unquote groupie era, but it is fun to think of them in their younger days, enjoying some of the finer benefits of being a touring musician. That's
Yeah.
really funny. I've never actually thought about that either.
Yeah.
Well, you sent me a picture of this, and I know that of that big box of CDs that you sent to Scotty. One of the shows you wanted to focus on was this Lunatic Picnic show, right? So awesome picture of the old flyer here. Um, and I looked up where this was, man, and like, oh my goodness! I mean, this venue looks incredible. Like just this
Yeah.
stage, this open piece of grass, the mountains behind them, and we're gonna get into some clips from this show too that you had sent me. Um, take
So
us there.
I have to
What's the vibe like? Yeah,
I have to mind you, this festival was not a jam band festival. It
yeah,
was a psychedelic trance based festival,
okay,
and there were only few bands, but they Sector Nine was the Saturday night, uh, you know, uh, last
headliner. Yeah,
headliner,
yeah,
and uh, the nature around, and this is the hot spring country, and within this park, there's the public bath that you could go take a bath anytime you wanted.
Wow.
Wow.
And I think all the band and staff actually did experience that after their gig,
Good.
you know. Yeah.
Good.
It's a crazy, the vibe was really crazy. Uh, Goa trance guys are a little bit more crazier than we are, I think. I saw one guy sticking their heads in the bass speaker unit at one
Oh,
point. I
there's
said,
always
"What are
one of
you?
those
What are you
guys.
doing?" Yeah,
What are you doing?
you know.
Oh man.
But it was uh, very colorful. I remember. There's a little spirituality trends around that time, both in United States and Japan as well. There are a lot of silk batik of mandala and green alien and that sort of thing flying around.
Mhm.
Um, and but so the audience was not basically a jam band audience. Those who came for the band were, but those who came for the festival and who happened to catch this band uh, weren't. Uh, you know,
Mhm.
jam band, or they probably didn't know anything about this band.
Yeah.
But um, yeah, but the buzz was there. And there's a new cool band coming out of America. Let's go check it out. That
Yeah.
was the general vibe, I think.
And I mean,
Good.
I don't know. I just hearing that story, it kind of reaffirms something that I've said and is said in maybe different words on this podcast before, but there really is something to the fact that STS9's music is largely wordless, and so you get this overlap into these scenes that you would never ever ever find any other band that you've talked about since you've been talking about jam music. They just wouldn't even be invited to this room, and
Right.
that ultimately I think is what keeps me at least coming back. Is this community is so atypical from what you normally find in a jam band community.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
Yeah.
I was rehashing that thought as I was looking at that lineup because candidly, man, I couldn't tell you who anyone else on that lineup is. And then you've got Soundtribe Sector 9 right there, and that
Mhm.
in a nutshell is why they're so if you know how to listen to them, kind of universally appealing to a lot of different types of tastes.
Yes. And I think, specifically for this festival, like I said, Japanese younger generation audience was totally ready to get everything this band can offer.
Sure.
Mhm.
You know, um, I think it could be a little bit more challenging for jam band fans to get this band.
Totally agree with
So
that.
Yes.
my question to you guys is, I think you guys had is STS9 a jam band question
Uh-huh.
this conversation. Have you reached a conclusion to that discussion yet?
I mean, I think it'll be kind of it's kind of like that story isn't like being done written yet, right? I think where they're trending is maybe not, but they kind of have jam band tendencies, right?
Mm,
Um, two sets and an encore, touring band that plays new set lists every night, improv, and everything like that, segues into songs and everything, teases, all that good
Mashups.
stuff, mashups. That's more of kind of the EDM
I
side of
guess,
thing,
yeah, I
though, I
guess
would
so, yeah.
say.
mm,
But
yeah.
I think at this point, I think the middle, like, man,
Mm.
1997 to 2008, I would say they were certainly a jam band, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think my answer is I think they are very I don't think I know I've talked to them about this and I've heard them talk about this with people that are not us interviewing them. They are very aware that that is almost the eternally unanswered question with them.
Mm.
And I think what's really cool about it is they're almost willing to play into whatever stereotype you're willing to accept them as. So you see them, they go to these more EDM-y type festivals and they fucking throw down on some modular and what you want from them. Okay, you brought us to this room. Clearly we know kind of what you're looking for from us. And you put them in more jammy situations like summer camp and you get a late night Red Barn set like we talked about a couple weeks ago. I think less important than what they are is what they know they can be in any given situation.
Well said. Well, I'd love to get to that show, right? Let's listen to some music, Taro. And this set list is great. The whole thing. So this is 2002, May 25th, Hakanomori Play Park for the Lunatic Picnic Festival. This whole show is a movement for my peeps sandwich. There's a moon socket, which is kind of like the encore, but the whole thing is movement for my peeps. But the first thing I want to get into was this Satori. This was one that you pointed out as being one you listen to a lot, and seems like it's very, very popular with a lot of STS9 fans. Whew, man. So tell us about Satori in Japanese, Taro, because this is a word that means enlightenment in Japanese, correct?
Yes. The moment that you become aware of something,
Mhm.
you know.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, while I'm at this Japanese word, does kamui mean something to you?
Okay, oh my gosh, literally was gonna read the set list, and when we got there, I was gonna say, hey, can you read that one for us? Because wait,
We know it as Kamui.
okay, so you just said Kamoi. Is that how it's
Kamui. Kamui.
what are we doing here?
The band has tried to tell us that it's Kamui, but does
Are
Kamui
they
have
Oh,
a
fuck
really?
are they fucking with
Uh,
us?
Kamui does have a Japanese meaning as well, correct?
it's actually a uh, Ainu tribe word.
Okay.
Okay.
Ainu tribe lives in Hokkaido, the northernmost island, and they are like, you know, uh, they were the, you know, original folks there, and they went through a similar uh, route uh, uh, as the uh, uh,
As the
American, American
American
version.
indigenous people?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
indigenous
Yeah.
people as well.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
okay.
and in their language, Kamui means God.
Okay.
Uh, God can reside in a stone, boulder, river, forest, leaf, sky, star, bear, salmon, anything. Um, and in interestingly, in the Netflix right now, there's a Japanese series called Golden Kamui.
No way.
Yeah,
I'll have to check that
it's
out. Wow.
based on comic book
Okay.
stories, and now they make it the movie and the TV series on Netflix. It's also takes place that story takes place in Hokkaido as well, and you will see
Okay.
some Ainu folks uh, in the series, and Kamui means God to them. But I think Kamwai, you said
I
Yes,
mean,
that is
that
what the band has told us.
that
That
probably
yeah.
come from somewhere in the middle or South America,
Yeah, I think
Central
Central
and South
America.
American cultures,
Yep.
prehistoric
oh.
cultures, maybe.
Hmm.
But that word is kind of familiar to me in that way.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
We'll
anyway,
have to we'll
uh,
have to check
uh,
that out. But yeah,
yeah,
this Satori, I mean, so aptly named for like the third song. They start with 16-minute movement and then STS9
yeah.
And then Satori. So like that is poetry to start of one of their was this their
Hmm.
first Japanese show? Or was
This is the
this
third one.
the third one? Okay. Well,
Third
either
one.
way, it might have been the biggest crowd they played to during that
Yes.
run. So like
Yes.
it's like, hey, let's start moving the people. Let's
Hmm.
introduce them to STS9, and now it's the first time they're becoming aware of it. So like, wow, like that's
Yeah.
some pretty good set list poetry to start the show here.
And it's a very jazzy version too, isn't it?
Yes.
I
Yes.
Hunter's guitar over these three shows were, for some reason, I felt it was very jazzy.
Yes.
First
Yes.
show, the Aoyama K, uh, it that show is also on the Bandcamp as well.
Yeah.
Uh, that show, Hunter's guitar is quite jazzy as well, I think, and
No, I think
it's very very nicely done.
yes.
I love when Jeffrey and Zach are very busy, while
Yes.
Yes.
the all other guys are kind of just doing this tapestry kind of ambient type of thing. I love
Yep.
that.
Yes. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like a it's two kind of um like opposite soundscapes meeting each other,
Mhm.
like to create this incredible, and like, yeah, Jeffrey on the tablets there is
Yes.
something to hold for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what I was going to talk about. Was just Jeffrey is clear as crystal on this, and
Mhm.
Yes.
just is I don't know. Nate played a clip from Amsterdam last week in our Wave Spell episode, and I had the thought before I knew it that this sounded like it was in another country, and I obviously we know that this is in another country, but I feel
Mhm.
like had you given me the prompt, I would have said the same thing about this. There's just something different about Jeffrey over here.
Yep. Yeah, and they get into frequencies 2, 3 after that, and then the next clip that Taro wanted to talk about was this improv. It might sound familiar to you guys.
Oh, word?
Yep. Yes, sir.
No shit. That one cowbell.
Wow.
You know, they should probably make a song out of that one.
So before we get into that clip, we're like halfway through the show here, Taro. Like, how is this being received by the people that are there, not for us, for STS9?
Just this tune was, I think, was dreamy for a lot of folks. Uh, and it kind of served also as a little break in the middle of the one set show, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But they were, and that's when, oh, mind you, the stage that they were on had 4 foot tall candles, 3 foot tall, 2 foot tall, huge, humongous, massive candles all over the stage.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was made by a Japanese artist. And they had that candles in other shows later on in the later years as well. Like a 2005 show as well. And it gets kind of hot, you know,
Yeah.
and on the stage. But around that time in the woods and their grass in the countryside, it was kind of cooling off.
Mm-hmm.
And sun was setting, and evening, the night was settling, and that's when this Satori came out, and everybody was like very dreamy, take a breather,
Mm-hmm.
but very dreamy, swaying, chilling kind of, uh, and people are quiet during this song. One thing
Love
about
it.
Japanese audience, after the first show at Aoyama Cave, I forgot who it was, or band members were talking to themselves. Hey man, did you see those Japanese audience? They were listening, dude. They were listening.
Okay.
Nobody was
I was about to
talking.
ask. In your observation as an absolute fucking seasoned music veteran, talk about the differences between Japanese crowds
Yeah,
and American crowds. Just keep going on what you were saying. I was literally about to ask this.
yeah. They are listening.
Oh,
So
I love this.
and they are really into our music. That's what they were getting it from the audience. And I think they loved the fact that the people were, categorically just not talking, but focusing on the music in hand. That's when the Japanese folks get any band from overseas. You
Yeah.
know, this is the
Wow.
rare moment. I'm going to take it all in.
Mm.
That is the one factor. But at the same time, they are so appreciative of music, and uh, majority of people just don't talk at
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
all. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. Even
Let
uh, once my ex-wife was at the cheese show in Japan, and it was a GA show, and she had to go to bathroom, but she observed that all the even though it's a GA, people are just lining up in order. And if
Wow.
somebody go out to get the drink or go to bathroom break, that spot is still there when you come back.
mm,
Nobody's going to
Wow.
invade your space, you know. And she thought that was very interesting and very Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
You
For
know,
sure.
so their focus on the music while during the show is really really uh they have a tight focus on that music that's
Yeah.
happening.
That's so important, especially with early STS9, where it's not quite as loud and abrasive, and you get into some of these
uh
like, yeah, yeah, where you really gotta listen. It's like going to a jazz show more, right? It's
mm,
like you said, very jazzy.
Huh.
mm,
This ended up being, turning into Potamus, which is really cool. This improv, and just like hearing one of the first ones and that like mix of kind of the blah 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 like that like probably resonated really well with some of those more electronic focused fans that were at this show, right? But
yeah. Even
yeah,
though they are probably expecting a lot of, going
yeah.
off moments, but at the same time they also appreciate the quieter or slower songs.
I mean, just
uh,
knowing Jeffrey, I feel like this is particularly why he shines so bright on these soundboards. I
mm,
This is exactly the kind of room I picture Jeffrey getting a real kick out of.
Mhm.
Like in the moment realizing, "Oh man, like everything I can do is it's not being lost because
Right.
there's no talking, there's no distraction. This is pure focus, pure presence." And I don't know, I feel like that kind of environment makes Jeffrey find that sixth gear that is so clear on these soundboards.
Yep.
yeah.
Well, you spoke about those higher energy moments, and the next clip you wanted to share is
Mhm.
certainly from one of those for sure. So get into that. Oof. My goodness. I pick up the energy a little bit there, huh?
So is there it like I was curious because like I gotta imagine the calm, respectful listening can only go so far, right? I mean, is there like a moment of like breaking where it's just like every other fucking animalistic sound tribe crowd you've ever heard, or is the focus still there even in those high energy moments?
Some people are still focused. Some others would, yell or, whistle or something, you know, in when the moment is there.
Sure.
Yep.
But yeah, but about I would say 7-3-6-4 proportion, and the people are quiet and do
Okay.
something
Yeah.
Yeah.
vocal, or make sound with it.
Yeah. This is part of, I mean, this stretch of this show that starts with that potamus that's labeled as improv into evasive into Kamwai into 12. My goodness. And then they they bookend that movement with a 10 plus minute for my peeps and then finish it
Yeah.
off with a moon socket was which is kind of their calling card at this point, right?
That 12 had, I think Phipps was still playing a little bit of Kamui uh, in parts.
Mhm.
But yeah, after Satori, they don't look back. They just keep on going,
Yep.
And I remember a young woman next to me at the rail uh, was just talking to herself in Japanese. Ho- ho- she was talking about that.
Of
How,
course.
how
Of
can
course.
how what did she say? How does how can that go on that long or something like that?
How can he keep playing like that for so long?
Yeah,
It's a machine. Yeah.
yeah.
Man, that is awesome. Well, that first run happens in Japan and they're invited back for Fuji Rock in 2003 and before that
Uh,
happens, you get a chance to sit down with Hunter here. And you'd shared this picture in the lounge and like man,
mm.
this picture is so cool. I hope it's hanging
Yeah.
up somewhere in your house. Um, so you said this was You were interviewing Hunter Brown at his cabin in Boulder Creek, California, for a
Yeah.
magazine, Balance, to
Hmm.
promote their return for Fuji Rock. So talk about this a little bit. Give us a little background behind this. So,
So
so you
I
have a little stint as a journalist?
well, I think that's the part that this band uh, inspired me to do. Um, and I wanted to really, you know, uh, put out the good word of this band about this band to Japan. So and I happen to be, not okay writer. So I got hold of the guy who publishes Balance, and um, I met one of the Balance staff or photographer, Rie Kasahara, and she came to America to take a picture for the magazine, and uh, we decided to do interview with Hunter, and so Rie and I went to visit Hunter, um, and uh, Rie, even though digital camera was already available back then, Rie shot film, and she is so good at catching the moment when
God.
some kind of emotions are there, let it be fans or a band member on stage. She is just so good at it, and she captured that on film, you know.
I mean,
Uh,
from a photo perspective, before we even talk about like, first of all, Taro, what a fucking stud you are with long hair.
It-
Good lord. But
But
now
how
that you're retired, it's
beautiful.
time to grow that back, brother. But no, man, this picture is unbelievable. I mean,
mm,
I looked at it briefly in the lounge, but just like staring at it as you kind of talk us through it, I mean, the quality of the photo alone is unbelievable.
yeah. Um, that was very, very, very special. So uh, we, I knew I wasn't uh, able to go to Fuji Rock, but I thought I would do my part. And Rie actually went to the show at Fuji Rock, but I didn't. But still, thought that, you know, I would have a role in mm, conveying the band's message and their backgrounds, where they come from. Around that time, they were on Mayan calendar and such. So there are
Mm,
some explanation to do for the new fans.
mhm.
So, unfortunately, the article, I can't find it. I will keep looking at it for that, but uh, the article came out, and I think there were enough information, mostly updates from the first Japan tour, past
Mhm.
2 years,
Okay.
what these guys are doing, and hey, these guys never keep standing at the same place. They are
Right.
always evolving. They
Mm.
are always uh, advancing, expanding. I remember that's one of those things that I wanted to stress. Uh, oh, you have seen this band the first time they went to Japan, yeah? Try this time because you're going to
Yeah.
hear completely different sound, you know, and there are new songs. Uh, that's what I remember from this around this time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Never
No,
standing in the same place. I love
yeah.
that.
Mm,
And man, you let us right into it because the band returns after '03 in '05, right? And we get to this Club Quattro show, which is so highly regarded by so many fans, and you happen to be there as well. And
mm.
you talk about the difference in sound
Yeah.
between not just '02 and '03, but then we get into '05.
Mhm.
And I thought this clip from the Club Quattro show is a perfect audio example of that. So let's take a listen.
Every time. Instantly. Every time. Instantly. Half the time. Instantly. Not just some of the time. Instantly. But. Instantly. Time. But every time. But every time. But every time. But instantly. Time. Instantly. Instantly. Time. Every instantly. Every instantly. But.
What?
What a difference a few years makes. So talk about that a little bit, man. Being there for the Club Quattro show, like, do we see the Japanese audience growing a little bit from the first couple times as well from them being there?
Yes, there were those who were experienced
Mm-hmm.
and now knowledgeable as well. And girls are still going, some girls are still going crazy. And they noticed the sound of there's different sounds, of course, different tunes. There have that over the past, few years, they had so many songs.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was around 2001. I remember one of the band members told me that they were trying hard to come up with new songs so that ideally they would go through 5 shows without repeating a tune. So
Love it.
they were really pushing for the new tracks. Um, but in the process, I think, uh, uh, but well, so I'm going off different direction here. Sorry. So they noticed those who are experienced noticed those differences.
Mm-hmm.
Expansion of the band.
Mm-hmm.
There are new curious ones who were just completely struck by what is this? I've never heard anything like this before. You
Mm-hmm.
know, no other band does this. Um, and I think a lot of newly exposed folks were just instantly, literally sucked into this band. You know, so I was at one point I was surrounded by people I didn't know. I heard you are close to the band, uh, and they asked me all kinds of questions. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and they that shows the audience, crowd's enthusiasm. And after the show, they went to the lobby of the place and sat down at the table and signed their CDs for those who bought a CD.
Love it.
And they were so happy to meet the band, shake their hand, and of course, the girls too. But I think the impact of this show was pretty substantial. And the day before, or like I said, day before or 2 days before that, they were at the festival called Asagiri Jam, uh, for much wider audience, much bigger audience. And some of them might have even bought tickets after that show,
Right.
after the festival.
Sure.
Oh, are they playing in Tokyo? I'm going back to Tokyo.
Right.
Right.
Let's go to see another show. Um, and I thought that fan base was established. I felt by 2005, fan base were established, no matter how small that might have been, established, and they were enthusiasts.
Mm-hmm.
In 2017, uh, I I went to the STS9's New Year's at the Warfield in San Francisco. Three
Yep.
night show, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran into a Japanese guy who came all the way from Japan just for the New Year's run.
Wow.
And I asked him, "Are you Japanese? Did you come from Japan?" And he says, "Yes." And he told me he built exactly the same guitar as Hunter Brown played at the
Oh,
time.
love it.
That was Mobius guitar,
Yep.
the
Yeah.
natural finish
Wow.
Mobius guitar.
Yep.
And I said, you gotta talk to Hunter.
Hmm.
So I talked to Hunter, and Hunter said, I want to meet him, get him in.
Yeah.
So I got him into the backstage and actually went to Jerry room in Warfield
Right.
Cool.
with a
Big Grateful Dead.
purple door,
Mhm.
and I threw him into the room where Hunter was, and I didn't go in with him. Just spend the time with Hunter.
Yeah.
There was a guy like this, and there were no shows in Japan after 2007. So in 2017, after 10 years,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there there are some guys out there
Wow.
dreaming to meet Hunter Brown with exactly the same guitar.
Wow.
He custom ordered it. You know,
Yeah.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I was struck by, oh, okay, so the scene is there and the fans are there sporadically. Uh, I said sporadically because simply because band hadn't been there since
Yeah.
2007.
Sure. Yeah.
They haven't been there for 20 years. So, but I think uh, there are jam band fans whose daily playlist include STS9 track, you
Yeah.
Sure.
know. Uh,
And
So
I,
you think
yeah.
there's an appetite for them to get back?
Oh, yeah.
so you're
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And
saying
the
there's a
band really
chance.
wants to go.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
it is expensive deal, but I think the total gear that they have to transport
Yeah.
is much smaller than their first tour in Japan because
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
they David Phipps has been telling
Yeah.
me that they are trying to travel easier, pack easier, and they are ready for going anywhere in United States or hopefully somewhere else, outside the
Yeah.
United States.
Well,
So they have been reducing using technology and new devices, new instruments to do what they want to do now. And and yeah, thanks to technology, the gear amount of gear is getting smaller and smaller. So
yeah.
they are ready to go.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
it's one of those things where I'm sure the sheer size of the gear required to make the noises they're making by 2005 are comically big compared to what you need now,
right.
especially in Phipps's instance. But I'm sure in almost every single band member, they all have drum machine of some kind or some kind of MIDI setup that probably has shrunk exponentially due to technology in the
Yeah,
last few years. So that is a really interesting observation I would have never thought
yeah,
about. And then lighting rig wise, I mean, I got to imagine that is one of those things that you probably can't perfectly find over there, but I'm sure there's plenty of that to be found over there. So that
Hmm.
probably alleviates another one of those concerns. I don't know. I'm just
yeah,
over here trying to justify
yeah.
them going over there in my head. Tara, I have one more question. I should have asked it when you were talking about the Grateful Dead tape trading, but I admittedly was like a little kid listening to stories at that point. Um, I can't help but ignore that through line where you go to a record store. This guy's like, fuck these records. Listen to this live stuff, these live tapes, and he gives you these tapes, and you go into the your first Dead show 100 shows heavy because of this trade. And you didn't say this explicitly, but I gotta imagine probably a good amount of friends from the Dead heavier because of that going back and forth with tape trading. And then in 2026 you send me a big ass box of STS9 recordings, and here we are having a conversation.
Mhm.
And I'm just curious, from somebody that literally has been a part of that practice of exchanging shows the whole time, what do you feel like has been lost as that
Oh,
has gone away? Talk about just just talk about that concept. I don't want to lead the question anymore.
think first thing I would say is you don't probably meet a specific person far away from you
Yeah.
because of
Hmm.
that.
Sure.
uh, because while I was in Columbus, Ohio, I traded with the people from all over United States,
Yeah.
and we were on the phone calls, you know,
Mm.
letters, uh, postcards, and then where I worked at the time happened to have a very very early stage of internet. Usenet was there,
Yeah.
so I was able to get set list almost immediately. But for many folks, they have to wait for a few days,
Sure.
unless you have a friend who were at that show,
Yeah.
using the payphone in a set break
Wow.
to
I've never
call
even
you,
thought about this part of it.
yeah, call you with a set one,
Uh-huh.
this, and then after the show, they give you the set two. Um, and that was how it was. But anyway, the tape trading went without actually meeting with a person, but uh, some contact, exchange of tapes and letters and phone calls with the person. And case in point, when I moved to Seattle, I already knew some people,
From the
Mm.
tape
even though
trades.
I had met in person.
Mm.
And they were very supportive. Oh, you just moved here. Let me show you around. Maybe there's a
Wow.
great local band. Let's go to see together. That kind of thing. It opens up a lot of social life when you meet the person uh, in person. But
Hmm.
with the streaming and all these things that each individual can have access to any shows,
Sure.
uh, they might talk about shows with friends, but not with somebody away from you.
Yeah.
I live in California, so I probably wouldn't talk to somebody in New York randomly uh, over the email or a text or something
Right.
because there's no reason to.
But there's
That
this element of even, I mean, I like to think that probably all of us are kind of the same person to certain friends in our life where we are their music plug. We are the one that says, "Here, let me show you this." And the idea of every connection being essentially that with the tape trade. That guy in New York, you're not just friends because you both like the Dead. He provided you a show.
yeah.
He said, "Hey, here's this." And there's all, I don't know, there's just so much of a more physical connection there when that is a part of the conversation.
Mhm.
I don't know. I just can't stop thinking about that, and
Right.
I
And
love that that's how we're talking now. It's like it's such a I don't know. This is such a fun
and
conversation.
also maybe show that you really really wanted to have on the tape in
Yeah.
your tape collection, and the person you have a contact with mentioned the tape and says, I have it.
Hmm.
Uh
You
huh.
do? You
Oh.
do? you know can you please make a copy for me?
Yeah.
I'll send you the blank. Um and especially I felt that when the Cornell University show in 77.
Hmm.
Sure.
Now it's officially CD and everything, but at the time, oh, you have a soundboard of the show? Which
Hmm.
generation is it?
Uh huh.
Generation 5? If you have a generation 2 or 3, I would just jump on it. That kind of talk is happening among the
Yeah.
tape collectors. That sensation of, oh yeah, this is the show I was looking for.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
finally got it. And
I I
it's only
I
third generation.
Yeah, I liken that to like, well, like when me and Scotty came in, like, yeah, that everything was online and you could hear the recording of the show the next day. Like it's that was kind of like our version of that was we were chasing songs. We're like, oh, we finally got a water song, right? We finally got a Four-Year Puma. So like
Yeah.
that kind of chase for a recording sounds so exciting. But um we talked a little bit about like how much the style of play and style of music has changed. I think you are the person that has
Mm.
seen STS9 for the longest amount of time that we've had on the show. So I'm really interested to get your thoughts on the different styles of play between the early 2000s, where you were, first starting to see them, and what we've seen in the last few years, and what you think.
Ah, the well, Alana is has made a huge, massive difference or transition.
Mm-hmm.
For one thing, and that probably is a pivotal point when you talk about this past 20 years change.
Mm-hmm.
That is probably the biggest thing. Uh, Style wise, I think they started to, I think, incorporate more of the now sound that,
Mm-hmm.
the bits and pieces of sound that currently popular music is using. The sound palette have enormously expanded.
Sure.
Uh, and I think they are also going for um, uh, more of a theme-based, the concept-based uh, projects, if you
Got it.
will.
Yeah.
Album show the each show's set list. I think they pay much more finer attention to what's the right thing to do here. They think so much about it, I think. They discuss
Mm-hmm.
among them so much about it, I think. Um, and that was the difference from, earlier stage that where they wanted to establish themselves in the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and but the style, I think they are still going for that middle ground of improvisation and the EDM.
Mm-hmm.
And um, I think EDM might be uh, slightly heavier now.
Mm-hmm.
That's my personal impression, but yeah. And also each band members' skills have uh, advanced or expanded so much that allows
Exponentially.
them to do what they are doing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's
they
Go ahead.
still are moving around or improving as a unit, as a band,
Mm-hmm.
not really a soloist standing out for so
Mm-hmm.
long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I love that about this band. And and that's why I'm curious to hear more solos, more not the longer solos, but more occasions of solos,
Mm-hmm.
as well as improvising as a band, as a unit. Um, I think they are totally that acoustic show in Colorado earlier this
Mm.
year that tells you they can create without those massive amount of instruments,
Mm-hmm.
technology. They are a true musician now, compared to when I met them,
Yep.
and there
Mm-hmm.
must have been just tremendous effort on their part to get
Yep.
to this point. But as Hunter told me, hey man, this is not work, he said. As a Japanese, that's a very foreign idea.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's a
Uh-huh.
Japanese program to
Yeah, it's built in
work,
your
work, work, and
culture.
yeah, and that inspires me. Uh, that's the another thing this band does, to think differently, and challenges me as well. What am I doing? What would SDA9 do in this kind of
Yeah.
situation? Uh,
Yeah.
and yeah, so I think that kind of thing also kind of ooze out of this current performance. the more the state the band is in. I think that influences that too.
WWS9D.
Make the bracelets. Yep.
So Taro, at the beginning of this, you had one specific thing you wanted us to ask, and it's one of our favorite things to talk about whenever somebody wants to talk about it. Let's talk about some covers, brother. Where would you like to see them
Oh,
go in the cover direction?
yes. The covers. Okay. I have number five.
Okay,
Uh,
so we've got five
I
songs.
have Pat Metheny and David Bowie. This is not America. Uh,
Mm.
Oh,
if there are no guests that can sing, then they can do instrumental version. If they
Yeah.
have a vocalist in the guest on stage, maybe they can sing that too. Number four is Yellow Magic Orchestra, YMO. That's a Japanese band, kind of
okay.
like a Japanese Kraftwerk. They have
Oh,
two good songs called Raidin and Technopolis. I would love to see them play one of those. Number three, I have a Southern Funk SOS band. Just be good to me.
okay.
Do you know this band? SOS band.
I know
They
the
are from.
SOS.
I
I
think
know
they are
the
from
SOS band.
Atlanta.
Yeah, I know of the SOS band.
Yeah.
I can't I don't know the song off the top of my head.
Talk
Um,
about getting down on the dance floor and the grooving. This song is it. Uh, Number two is Massive Attack, Safe from Harm. If they
oh,
have Audio Angel or Sarah Dugas on vocals and
Mm.
Arman Rain on 3D's rap,
Wow.
ah,
Safe from Harm.
wow.
I
Or
love this.
if
I
they
love
don't,
the Sarah Dugard call there. It was great. Yeah.
The presence of a singer and a rapper. I don't know. That would be first time ever.
and if they don't have any of those singing guests, they can do Billy Cobham Stratus instead because Massive Attack sampled the beats and bass line from
Oh,
Stratus.
that's
Okay.
right up their alley too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pull the sample cover instead of the actual song. That's yeah.
Hmm.
And number one cover song I wish for is Weather Report Black Market.
Mm. Man,
All
that's a hell of a
right.
list.
Let's go, man. I've got Yellow Magic Orchestra pulled up on my my
And
playlist for tomorrow.
are they, I don't know if they are still doing the set list contest thing.
They haven't done one since the legendary Mitch Miller. Mitch Miller come on this fucking podcast. Every time it comes up, I send a message to Mitch. But no, they haven't done it more than once. But I mean,
Oh,
hey, put
okay.
it in the air, man. Talk
Well,
about it.
if they are doing that again, we, the STS9 fan base, can gang up on them.
Oh,
Not
okay.
this, not this year because this is the important year for the band
Mhm.
because of the new album.
Yeah.
But sometime in the future, only 9 songs per show.
Mm. Yes, I'm
Only
for
nine
that.
songs per show. That means each song is gonna have to be more than 15 minutes.
Yes. That is interesting because when they did the set list thing, I believe it was 7 songs per
7
set.
songs per set. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then an encore. That would be a power move.
Four
Um.
songs first set, 4 songs second set, 1 song encore.
Disco
Mhm.
biscuit shit.
I love how you preface that with like, hey, not this year. We know you. We know everybody who's
Yeah,
getting to shows now is out of
this
here.
year is very, very
You-
special with the human dream,
Yep.
We
Yeah.
gotta respect that. So maybe in 2 years later or something.
Yep. Well, we know that like the magic years for STS9 tend to be like the second year after an album release. Like
Mhm.
there's something
Ah,
about that where like
I
they're not
see.
tied. they're in between projects, those are some of the best years for live shows. But I still love what they're doing with the human
Oh
dream
yeah,
in the live
yeah.
aspect for sure. But Taro, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
Taro will be at all 5 nights of the Colorado run. So if you see him, give him a high five, wish him a happy retirement. What a hell of a retirement trip, man. You're going to have a lot of fun.
Yes.
But thank you so much for joining us, man. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you very much for having me, and it's been so much fun. And I realize it's kind of long time has passed. My apologies.
No, you're
And
all good.
I look forward to seeing you guys at the shows
Yeah.
Mhm.
and chat in person. And
Yep.
are you're not coming to Colorado, Nate?
I can't make it. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I see.
I'll
But
text you and we'll figure out the next show we're
this
going
is
to.
a chance for me to meet Scotty then.
Yes,
I
Yes.
sir.
look
We'll get
forward to
some
meeting
one-on-one
with you.
time. I'm excited,
Mhm.
man. I'm really excited to chop it up with you in person. This was such a fucking pleasure. The people that recommended you are, I would blindly trust them with any recommendation. But man, I am so pleased with this one. I texted Nate within the first 20 minutes and said this is a top 5 episode, and
Oh,
I still
thank you so
believe
much.
that 2.5
Thank
hours
you.
later. Thank you so much. This was so much fun.
Yep. So
And I would
thank you
love to
guys.
meet. I would like to meet other folks who appeared in this program. They seems to
Mhm.
be all great, fantastic, creative people, and this community, STS9 fan base is just fantastic.
Mhm.
Yes.
So thank you for doing this, guys. And I'm a big fan. You know.
Well, like Hunter Brown says, it's not work, right? So, but thank you guys for listening. Whether you're
Thank you.
watching on YouTube, listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, throw us a like, throw us a subscribe, there's a comment or review if you're feeling nice. You guys have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you next week. Chest pats.